What's up, guys? Jeremy here from school.com/financial coaching. Hey, one belief that's out there is that anyone who has a lot of money must have screwed someone over or cheated or done something unethical in order to get ahead, particularly if they have a lot of money. And of course, that number means something different to everybody. But really, just the more lavish someone's lifestyle, the worse that people assume their character. And it is possible, there are shortcuts to acquiring money. And as it relates to within a business, often those shortcuts involve, someone else ending up with a short end of a stick and you selfishly pursuing your own finances rather than you going through the true process of wealth creation. And so there is an easy way to assess, am I just chasing money or am I creating wealth? Because there's it can be one of the exciting things about creating wealth is that you do end up with an abundance of financial resources. So you don't want to be agnostic to that. You want to allow yourself to be excited for that. But how do you keep your heart pure? How do you keep your mind straight and know the difference? One easy way, an easy litmus test, is just to ask yourself, who is getting screwed? Who is getting screwed with whatever it is that you're applying yourself to in order to create wealth, in order to increase your financial access, your financial resources? Who's getting a short end of the stick? And the answer, if you're creating wealth, is no one. No one is, if you're really creating wealth. If you're not, then there will be someone that's getting the short end of the stick. So even if you're an employee, you might be very well aware that, hey, maybe your company is getting the short end of the stick. Maybe they're way overpaying you, for not necessarily overpaying you compared to what your market rate is, but way overpaying you for the value that you're actually bringing to that institution, to that company. Maybe the company, the customers are getting screwed. Maybe the product is way overpriced, or it's actually a bad product, or particularly if it's a moral, ethical dilemma, it's actually evil in the way that they're going about their business. So customers are getting screwed. Could be service providers, right? You could have a company that bullies its service providers, the other businesses that serve your company's business. Are they getting a short end of the stick? Investors, people who have invested in the company, are they getting a short end of the stick? It's easy to use bankruptcy laws, for example, to screw over investors, equity holders, and to accelerate your financial position. But that is not, again, wealth creation. Wealth creation, everyone wins. In wealth creation, everyone wins. So, with whether it's a company you're working for, or especially if it's a company that you are leading, I want to encourage you to ask yourself, who's getting screwed? Or the way you could say it on the other side of the coin is, how is everyone better? How is everyone winning? Fundamentally, what value is being provided? What's the real value? So for example, with common goods, my resale warehouse, what value am I bringing to the customers? Hey, I am saving them money compared to what they would pay for these products in store. I allow them to test it. And if something's wrong with it, even after they bring it home, they can bring it back, swap it out for a good one. If I can't swap it out, I'll refund them. So fundamentally, the main value I'm providing on my customers is I'm saving them money. Now, it doesn't matter, how do I say this? My ability to do that efficiently and profitably on the business side is agnostic to, or is inconsequential to, is unrelated to the legitimacy of that value. Let me just say it like this. I make a lot more money now than I ever have in my reselling business. Just on, I was showing Josh, who's buying common goods from me, just on eBay alone, in the past 30 days, we've made over $22,000. So like I'm making more money and I'm buying stuff for cheaper than ever. So like, am I worse? Is like, am I doing, if I'm just chasing money, then someone that's getting screwed would be getting even more screwed, right? Like something bad would begin to get exposed. But what's happened compared to when I first started, I'm saving people more money. I used to sell stuff for 30% off of retail, and it's still saving them money, right? Still good. But now I will often sell stuff for 70% off retail. And I'm still making more profit because I'm on the buy side. You know, I used to be finding stuff for 50% of retail, and it's often now I can get stuff for 10% of retail. Not all the time. Recently, I just bought 4 semi-trucks full at like a 3% of retail price range. So I'm making a killing, right? But and at the beginning, I was bleeding money. But I'm actually doing better for the customer now than I was then, right? So there's a real value that's being provided, and it's not somehow wrong that there's money that's being produced. It's just, hey, what's the real value? So on the customer side, they're saving money. Like no customer ever gets screwed that I sell anything to, ever. Now, if there are different models of stores, so if you want a 90-day guarantee return policy, if you want a 5-year warranty, those are things I can't offer. That doesn't make me an evil business. That's like, hey, you got to go pay retail price. Like, you can't afford to offer that and save you this much off retail. It's like Aldi versus Whole Foods. You know, Aldi's not like worse business. But hey, here's the proposition. We're going to save you money on your groceries. Here's what you're willing to give up as a customer. You're going to give up the ability to have as many choices. You're going to give up the ability to have a lot of organic options. You're going to give up grocery bags, right? You're going to have to put a quarter in if you want a shopping cart. So we're not going to have as many shopping carts stolen from us, right? But there's what am I trying to say? There's some things that Target's offering that are valuable to its customers it's not as valuable to an Aldi customer. And the Aldi model is, let's go big on saving price and let's skimp on some of these other values. And I bet there's a customer base for this. So that's a legit business that's filling a real need in a market, and doing so in a way that like is good. Now let's look at I don't actually know Aldi's business inside and out. I'm just saying on the customer side, there's real value there. Then there's the employee side. Okay, who's working for you? Are you being predatory on people that need a job? Like, are you just churning through minimum wage, promising that, hey, after 3 years you can achieve yada yada, but there's actually not a lot of upward momentum, etc. And man, there's so many ways to screw people over. Okay, but hey, no one that's ever worked for me has been screwed out of $1. People that have worked for me have made more than they were making at other places and had more flexibility with their work schedule. So, and like, I'm nice as a person, generally, most days. I mean, some days I'm a grumpy bear, but usually I'm pretty nice. So like, fundamentally, I'm not screwing over employees, right? And you don't want to. Like, as a business owner, you want to think, how can I help people make as much as they can? How can I help them make more? Customers, how can I save them more? How can I make this more valuable for them? Lenders and investors, how do I make this business worth more? How do I offer more attractive deals for people that want to buy into this business? And then service providers, like, What about where I'm getting inventory from? What about where I'm getting my supplies from? Are those businesses better off because they're doing business with me? And then like environmental impacts and just like general ethical impacts of how you're operating. There's so many angles, and you want everyone to win. And if everyone can win and you're making money, guess what? That is real wealth creation. But if you're just preying on some angle of the business, some part of the business operation, then I think that's messed up. So you can see it on the employee side, right, of being stingy, withholding, being unrealistic with work expectations. And then as soon as someone's about to hit this next milestone, you just fire them. And so you like false promises to employees, false promises to customers. Like you see this with gurus, right, that are, hey, if you join this group, it only costs $20 trillion and I'll teach you everything you ever need to know. It's like, okay, well, are you really going to do that? Like, do you really have the ability to present that value? But are these customers actually wanting what you're selling, or are you telling them what you want them to hear, what they want to hear, and then preying on their hope, right? Like, I'm going to get money from your hope. That to me is like, that's messed up. I don't like that type of guru model. If you're selling hopium and you're receiving a profit off of people's hope, I don't think, like, you shouldn't have customers that are screwed. Ever. There should never be a customer that feels screwed. Okay, maybe 1%, 2%, because you can't control how people feel. But if someone feeling screwed is different than them actually being screwed, right? And no one should actually be screwed. Maybe 1% of buyers at Common Goods feel screwed, but like someone might message on something and it's a first come first serve basis, and they show up 4 days late and it's already sold, and then they leave me a 1-star review and they're like, he's an evil person, he lies. I'm like, okay, I'm bummed, I'm disappointed, I want to make it right, I'll try to offer coupons or discount, whatever. It's part of doing business. You can't please everyone, but fundamentally the way your business works, for example, with reselling, there's a whole nother world of reselling. They're called scalpers, right? They're going to buy up stuff at market value at the store, new products that they know people are going to want, and they're going to sell out, or like buy all the concert tickets, whatever, and then resell them, flip them to people that actually want the product, and they're going to charge 3x or whatever what the retail value actually was. That to me is fundamentally messed up. Like, you're making your money off of screwing someone else, which is a legitimate, you can cut corners to make money that way, but you're not creating wealth that way. But if you're creating wealth, like if you're making a lot of money, so you're winning financially, and everyone else is winning, that's legit. Like, you want to tap into that. That's creative genius from a strategic perspective and from an innovation perspective. And so anyways, I just want to put fuel on that fire. Hey, if you have an idea and it makes money, don't go after just making money in a way that screws other people over, but put your foot on the gas on, I'm driving a Tesla, so there's no gas in here, but like, lean into those thoughts centered around, man, if like we can strategically, like everyone wins and I win, not just everyone else and you lose. That's another way that you could totally mess things up, is focusing on value that you're providing, but not caring at all about the profitability of the business. That is not a sustainable model either. That's not innovation. That might be goodwill towards men. That might be a great aid, but that's not business. That's not sustainability. And sustainability, everyone wins, and that's real wealth creation. And yeah, you could legitimately, through real created wealth, earn ridiculous amounts of money. Earning more money has nothing to do with were you more or less ethical as a business. It's not. Nothing to do with it. You can lose a ton of money and it be super unethical, right? You can make a ton of, and you can make a little bit. It's all about what's the value. So anyway, there's lots of ways to make money. Don't fall for the traps of making money in shortcut ways that are built on screwing other people over. James 5, for example, like there's verses in the Bible that rebuke the rich that prey on others. Like, they know they're getting rich. They've created a great system. It's like classic, like Rockefeller, like, hey, I'm just going to open a gas station across the street from your gas station, and then I'm going to bankrupt you. Like, someone else is getting screwed. Society's getting screwed, or like Walmart gets a bad rap sometimes, like, move into this small town and I'm going to pay everyone minimum wage, and then all your stores are going to go out of business. Like, if a community is getting screwed, like, that's not wealth creation. I'm not saying everything that Rockefeller did or everything Walmart does is illegitimate. I'm not familiar enough with them really to know that. But fundamentally, there are bad ways to make money, but there are good ways to make money in a way that everyone wins for real. And there's a line of people that are happy, right? That, like, a line of customers, a line of employees, a line of bosses, a line of service providers, your bankers, your softwares that you use, like, people that everyone wins. When it's real wealth creation, everyone wins. That's all I got for y'all today in this video. I'll talk to y'all again soon.